I remember I kind of told my dad that I was going to a protest, and he kind of smiled, and I was like, it kind of tripped me out. Like, why would you smile for this? But then it kind of just made me realize that he understands that I'm doing this for him, and like for the family.
Check.
A19.
Welcome back. We're gonna recap Love Island season 6.
Love Island season 6 episode. I'm on episode 17.
Oh hell no, bro.
For you guys that want,
no, that's crazy. That's crazy time, bro.
That's the Meg the Stallion episode. Yo, I was trying to I thought it was episode 7, and it was actually episode 17. Shout out to Meg the Stallion, man. She looked bad. Oh, yeah? She's a beautiful piece of work right there. Sheesh. Shit. Let me see. Okay.
Episode 21, bro.
Episode 21. Well, how's everybody going? How's everybody doing, phone? How you been? How you guys been?
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show. We took a little break because shit got hectic out here in these streets. The ICE agents are ramping up everything, fool.
Yep.
But how's everybody the last 2 weeks? What you been up to?
Hanging in there, dog.
How you been, fool?
Chilling, bro. Just hanging in there, phone. Like, numb, I guess.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough out there in the streets.
How's the community for you right now?
It's tough, fool.
What's changed for you for now? As of now, meaning as a community, what's different around your area now?
Just the fucking damn, bro.
Less taco spots.
For sure, less people out on the streets, bro. Like even my family kind of stays inside too.
Yeah.
But
I went to get my car washed today, dog. Usually right there, there's those streets where they line up the whole block with car washes. Like 3 people were there today, bro.
Sheesh. Yeah, it's been a constant spot, right? Car washes. Damn.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people look at them and they're like, oh, these people are just like doing this on the street, taking over streets, fool. But they're doing it out of necessity, fool. And that shows what the economy is, fool. If they could get a livable wage off just regular jobs, they wouldn't have the need for doing this. This is to survive, dog.
Yeah.
That's why they're on in the streets, fool.
Sheesh. It's been, these last 2 weeks, it's been weird, too. Just a lot of things happening, foolish.
A little spook too,
so
bro,
much.
Because dude, I got papers, and at first I wasn't scared. If they stopped me, hey, I was born here, but knowing that they're taking people with papers too, and dropping them off in random ass places, kind of puts me in a position where I gotta look who's behind me and who's pulling up next to me, because
because it's all money game. Look, they want, even if you're an American citizen, they still want to process you. You'll be out in a day or 2, but for them, they got the check.
That makes sense.
They got the Trump check. Oh, you got one. Yeah, he got released. But being the trauma from being arrested, for being in the detention centers, even that, you don't want to go through that shit at all.
It ruins your whole kind of life.
It does,
everything.
Remember, you might get fired. They're
right.
And that's kind of it for you.
People are sick out here, fool. They don't have medication. People, even a shot like that could kill them.
Yeah.
And that's what got me scared too.
I think there's 2 reported deaths right now. By people who've been detained by the agents.
Yeah, it's just been wild, fool.
I mean, not that I'm looking for more, but I'm surprised there's only 2, to be honest.
No, for real.
Just because of the brutal attacks, you know what I mean?
The smoke bombs, fool. They're using these fucking smoke bombs on the street.
People's health overall isn't the greatest stuff. Medication not being readily available. All that shit, So it's crazy, bro. I mean, for me, it's also been kind of rough, dog, because my mother, she's undocumented. So right now, it's kind of like you're in a position where you're just trying to make sure she is safe. You know what I mean?
Even mentally,
mentally. Doing the grocery shopping for her, picking up the sister whenever we need to, all that stuff. And sadly, it's around the summertime where my mom, she's usually our caregiver for our kids, We got 3 boys, so we normally would just take them to my mom's house, and, they'll chill there until we get off of work. And now it's I'm nervous, leaving my kids at my mom's house. And, what if something happens right then and there? My kids are there. It's just the unthinkable. You start thinking about it. You know what I mean? Wish this doesn't happen, but I mean, you try to, well, at least for me, I always like to be prepared for things,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I try to dwell on that.
And you're an overthinker.
I dwell on that thought when I'm just so how do I prepare myself for this shit?
And I think we've seen a lot of the first gen stepping up and keeping their parents at home, fool.
Yeah.
But that sucks. Imagine just being locked up in your house, fool. It's back to COVID times, fool.
It's terrible.
You remember how that was, fool? It's depressing, dog.
Yeah.
It's depressing for sure.
I mean, it's definitely a difference than the whole COVID. Because COVID, you didn't want to even have people around. Like right now, you just want to have everybody under the same roof.
Absolutely, that's
You know
a
what I
good
mean?
point, fool. That is a good point.
Like now, you're just trying to have everybody in one
Everybody, dog,
household,
yeah.
fool, so you know everyone's secure, everyone's safe.
Damn, fool. Yeah.
You know, like we even went to putting cameras all over my mom's house, you know, but she still don't feel safe. I was like, fuck it, just pull up at my house now. We chill at my house. So I mean, things like that. I mean, I like having moms around, fool, but she's not living life right now.
Yeah.
You know, she's kind of like
In fear,
basically. Yeah. So that's tough, bro.
That's tough.
Yeah, just it's affecting. You see it in the street, fool. You see less people. You see less food spots. You see less people on the buses, and it just sucks out to just see that. Like, just see them, and you feel it. Well, I don't know. I feel it. I feel it.
I think everybody at this point feels it, fool.
You feel it out here walking because you know I'm always around here, city, right? I'm always up and down, and then I feel it everywhere, and from the east to the west, is everywhere. For you see a change.
Yeah.
You see a change. The community is no longer there. Everybody's in the shadows, or there's no longer like just hanging out in the parks. Shit, even like the swim meets. Like my son just had a swim meet, and even them being at the edge of them getting pulled up. You know, just sucks for to just see all this shit and how it's just getting nastier and nastier by the fucking day.
And that first week, fool, I remember just the shock of seeing everything online. And now we're like on the fourth week, fool, and I just expect to see it.
Yeah.
I expect to see something online about something like that, fool. So that sucks,
Yeah.
fool. That fucking sucks, for real.
And every day, right, you see on the page. Well, I found that page through you guys, South Central something.
Ice alerts, yeah.
And then just seeing, okay, on Western food, and it's all around me, you know, Western and this and Figueroa, like all our areas full, like just being targeted crazy and just like, fuck. And then my wife went to work the other day, and then she seen a Texas plated white van just in front of the pad, just like a fucking 6 in the morning for just cruising by. And it was weird, and it's just like for even her have that in her mind, it's just crazy, dog.
And it's crazy because it's in the mornings when they target the most. Because at around 4 p.m., it's kind of when it dies
Everybody's
down.
that's
That's a
Down
fact.
at 4 p.m.
usually people that don't have papers, they have those jobs. They're going in at 6, so they're waking up at 4, leaving by 4:30. You know, and they're doing the commute. You know, on the bus, the metros. Usually it's around that time, so they're being very strategic, fool.
And that's crazy because it goes back to you saying, you know, you wake up in the morning, dog. You're looking for that story. What happened just this morning, dog? You know what I mean?
It's like I just want to wake up and hope it's done.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's gonna be like, hey, all this is over. We're just not gonna see it for like a week, and then that's when we're gonna know, okay, this is finally over. Like for like 2 weeks, okay, it's finally over. But I don't think they're gonna announce like, hey, all the rates are done. You know, LA is safe.
And you know, I'm to the point where I see an alert, and I'm hoping it's from yesterday, and I click on the more. I don't know why Instagram is doing that. They whatever. You see more of the day now. Yeah. You're like, oh shit, this morning. I'm like, god damn. It just every day from every day.
Stop.
It doesn't stop. And
Hey, and right now that 4th of July is just right around the corner.
around the corner.
Those little posties, those posts. Do you guys see people buying fireworks? Because
Well,
I go through like
usually-
4 of them, full empty as fuck.
I think
well, they've
usually
been
on the
empty.
last day.
No, they've been empty for the last couple of
Yeah.
years, right?
But
Like,
I feel like most sales happen on the last day, last hour. So
Yeah.
maybe the last day, the last hour.
Plus-
Hopefully they're empty. I mean,
because
I don't
even
know.
the last 10
We're
years,
boycotting.
fool, it's been more common for like you're in the hood. You have connects, right? We
Yeah.
all have connects.
Yeah,
we all
that's
have
true.
somebody that's selling those $100 packages, way better than the TNT spots. So for us, even that, nobody's hitting me up for like, hey, yo, I got this. Everybody's on some other shit right now.
Hey, but they also said like they weren't gonna do fireworks in some cities because
They're banning them. I think kind of LA, right? LA County banned them.
Some people were doing drones, like light shows, and
Yeah.
some people are just canceling them for people
Like a
are just
protesting,
afraid.
right?
They're just afraid of like ICE, and like they're just like canceling the whole
In
thing.
my opinion, there should be a sick ass protest that day. Like, in my opinion, I don't know why nobody's like targeted that day. Like, that should have been a perfect day for the community to go out and like, you know, make it.
Hey, well, wasn't today supposed to be the Latinos no work type deal?
It's because I think there's a lot of things that happen like that, and they'll blow up on one post, but then it's just an inconsistent.
We don't have
Yeah,
leaders. Remember, it goes
Yeah,
back to
it's
we don't
kind of
have.
inconsistent when
yeah.
it comes to those posts. Even with the protests, I think last week we ran into them. We didn't even know about it. We just ran into it, and low-key has some following, but I think they're just sparse and spread out.
Yeah.
A lot of those posts.
I think we don't have a centralized like movement of like a group of like like we know when the whole BLM was going on, they had the Justice League. Was it the Justice League? Or the Justice Fighters, whatever they're called. And it was like Latinos, black, everybody that was mixed in that would like. We still have those supporting the ICE things right now, but we don't have our own. Like we always depend on somebody else to help us out. We don't have a lot of strong leaders out here. Let's keep it a bug. We don't.
That's true.
Or even independent leaders that are just more for the community. We have some in the smaller level, but we don't have ones that are like fucking making their life calling. You know, we have.
They don't let them get to that point. Fool.
It doesn't.
They don't let them get to that point.
We can't.
Look, that's why I like pages like Brown Issues, like.
SCLA clips.
Like SCLA clips. No, for sure. SCLA clips. Brown Issues. Like a lot of these things are popping up. That I'm glad that, but there still needs to be a more unified, like a board member situation where there's a bunch of leaders. Okay, let's all agree to do this. Let's all get our resources together to do this type of movement. We don't have that. Even when you go to the marches, I mean, you go to we don't have a strong voice. They don't seem as like very inspiring. You need inspiration out here when you're giving these speeches out. You need to empower the people and energize them to like continue the fight.
Yeah, that's true.
And we don't have those. But when you go to like a BLM one or like those, they have great speakers, fucking pouring their heart out and fucking energizing the community. We don't have those yet.
I wonder why that is, though.
Like maybe like you said, we're taught, we're raised to be more of a.
You think
like
the education level?
No, fool.
No?
Latinos are the most educated in California.
I think
right
we're just
now.
taught to walk into rooms with respectful, and a lot of that I think we don't think about breaking those narratives too. I think we grew up with those like belief systems
A little bit of fear, right?
Yeah,
It's
for
a little
sure.
bit of fear,
because our parents being undocumented, they told us follow the laws, stay low key, don't put your name out there like that. So I think a lot of it's
And that's kind of
ingrained
true
in
because
us.
I like to carry myself like under the radar.
Yeah, me too, fool. I'm very much
You know
like
what I
that
mean?
too, bro.
Yeah.
Speak when spoken to type shit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think it's all growing up. You know, we were taught like be quiet when you're at church or this or you don't when you're at school and you whatever. They always teach us to like be quiet.
Yeah, you're here to
just
learn,
follow
not to
orders.
fuck around.
No, but especially just being like having undocumented parents, like don't step over that line. Just fucking follow along.
Don't burn the spot,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I really hope that once all this is over, you know, the Latino community gets stronger, builds better, faster.
Yes.
And we kind of support each other, especially in the small business world. You know, they're seeing that, you know, hopefully they shop more locally. They do more stuff locally and you know, not stop going out that far, but kind of help rebuild the community.
Yeah, invest your
got
communities
affected.
for sure.
Yeah.
I went to the Huaracho spot.
Oh yeah, how you?
And it took me a little minute to register why the owner had it locked. So when we pulled up, they unlocked it, they let us in, they closed it, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" Like, until I sat down, I'm like, "Yo,
That tripped us out too because we went to a spot.
No, hold on. But it's funny because that shit looks like a fucking ice age truck. Every time,
it's white
every time we pull up somewhere,
Texas
dog,
plates.
every time
It's
we pull
into
up somewhere,
windows.
dog, everybody's fucking like looking, who the fuck is that pulling up? dog?
Hey, you know it's crazy because I get the same thing, bro.
It's all blacked out.
It's all
Yeah,
black,
fool.
fool. So it's sus, dog.
Yeah,
You hear the lock switch?
I purposely ride with my windows down. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Recently,
I do
fool.
too, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Especially when you have the white one or the one that are like
The white pickup.
the fucking whatever branded ones. You know what I mean?
Hey, with the camper.
So this weekend I had my first experience like that for when I went, and I'm like, damn. And then I remember, oh shit, around this area there was ICE agents this morning. So I'm like, oh damn, like to even like. But I'm glad that they're finding ways to secure themselves, and the white communities that are now taking over these areas are understanding that, and they're very pro that.
Yeah,
So I love that there's still resistance here. Did you guys watch that video of the Haitians? They were deporting a few Haitians somewhere in the East Coast. I think it was Florida, or maybe Jersey or whatever. But
I mean, they got more hands than us.
fool, they were bombing back on the fool. They escaped. They didn't catch these motherfuckers. They got bombed at. They got jumped. Like, fuck all of that. I don't know that our community is not like that, but it was dope to see how, like, yo, they're not taking, like, the whole block stuff that was out. And, you know, and it goes back to where there was a couple, very few African Americans that were like, that's not our fight. Yo, dog.
Now it's our fight.
You see it, like,
You know?
come on, dog. Like, in the East Coast, there's a lot of immigrants that are black, from Haitians, from fucking Haitians, Dominicans, Puerto Rican, black Puerto, or not
yep,
Puerto
yep,
Ricans,
yep.
they're American, but other countries they have over there.
Yeah.
But seeing Amanda Seals, because I fuck with Amanda Seals. I don't know if you know who Amanda Seals is. No. She's one of the ones that are always speaking up for issues and yeah, to see her like checking her people like last month, and then now she brings it up like, yo, see, I told you guys, it's gonna happen to us too. Now that they will deport us, so now people that are breaking the law, well, yeah, you're American, you were born here, but hey, you're breaking the law, you gotta go. That's gonna happen soon, eventually, fool. Where they're gonna start deporting Americans that have a fucking conviction. I think it's gonna get to that point. It feel like it's fast getting to that point.
Yeah.
It's been 6 months, fool.
It's crazy, dog.
It's been 6 months.
Yeah.
It's been 6 fucking months, and it's just like, yeah.
Do you think this event, this crisis, is going to go down into the history books?
Oh yeah, it has to. Fool.
Is it going to be talked about, or is it one of those things where they're going to try to like suppress it?
No,
and, like, not be out there.
I think it's so visual, more visual than how it was in 2005. I think it's gonna live on. That's the biggest, I think, because of the way they're doing it for with kids and fuck, just tackling down food like they're animals through fucking Home Depot aisles. Fool. I'm like, fuck.
That is crazy. I saw that video.
Damn. And you know what? I went to what I did this past weekend. I went to the Weekend concert. And it was a packed show, but you know what it was? It felt different than the Kendrick show. The Kendrick show, fool, it was a fucking fest, like an event. All the streets were packed. This one was sold out too, but it didn't. We were tripping out, like what the hell, like when the Kendrick one full, it actually felt like the city was packed. I don't know why.
It's
maybe
probably more culture,
A different
and it's
vibe.
also like a victory lap for Kendrick. Like so
it was more. Yeah, you're right. That's what I was like. It was more than just a concert. It was like a cultural win. It was celebration, fool, for the West Side. So yeah, but even though the Weekend had an amazing set, fool, me and my kids had an amazing. My girl, we had an amazing time, fool. Man, it was one of the best shows I've ever been to. Because this fool, his budget for that production way, it was crazy. You see it, fool.
Yeah, it looked crazy.
The way it was, the fucking metal statue in the middle, and fucking Playboy Cardi was dope with Travis Scott. They performed Fiend. That shit was, man, my daughter was happy. Well, my daughter was geek when Fiend started coming up. So
That's
it was
a TikTok of our song, right?
yeah. Fiend.
Is it that one?
Yeah, it is that one.
That's from that.
So that shit was dope. But you know what? At the same time, that this whole thing has been under my mind regardless.
Was there a lot of Latinos there?
It was all Latinos mostly.
That's what I've been telling this fool, dog. We hold a lot of power in entertainment,
power,
ticket
dog.
sales, dog, and
A lot
we don't
of power.
realize that
We
we
don't
can control these things because we control so much power, dog.
But look, they divide us. That's the reason
Yeah,
why.
that's the idea, fool.
Their plan is to
That's why
divide the Latino community
sure.
and through different pieces and like, oh well, you guys are from the islands, you guys are within
That's why the
ourselves.
portrayal in movies is always like gang members and
Yeah.
blacks against Latinos,
They
fool,
divide
because
us.
that causes that division.
Even the division between the East Coast Latinos and West Coast Latinos.
Yeah, that's all
There-
purposeful.
There's a
dog.
divide. It's all purposeful.
Yeah,
It's
for
all
sure.
purposeful.
Like dark skin Latinos and light skin Latinos.
Yeah, the paperback tag.
Is this why we're here? Is this why we're here?
Let's jump in right now. Yeah, I think that's why they divide us so much, fool, because they know we're so strong. So
Together,
they
fool.
gotta separate us in
Yeah.
different, even in political views. Like, I think moving forward, I'm seeing everybody that moved the way they moved during these last couple months. I'm taking it to heart, fool. And I am.
I did that since the election, fool.
And like this will say, by 2035, hopefully Latinos are the majority in the states.
Hopefully. They gotta take your
real,
green card. They gotta
fool.
take your green card.
Hey, cut this out.
Nah, just statistically, bro, the way we're growing, 50%.
We're going fast, fool. Fast. Even the graduates. You see the graduates,
How many
right?
kids you have?
2.
Okay, 2. So I got 1, 2. When you get 3, there you go. Come on, bro. Step it up a little bit.
Step it up. You gotta have
There you go, let's go.
2.7. 2.7, dog,
according
according to Joe Rogan's takes. And I seen that video going around viral, 2.7. I'm like,
funny.
we're getting over here statistics from Joe Rogan. But
Wait, what were we on? You were talking
Oh, my
some
bad.
good shit.
we were talking about the weekend shit.
The weekend.
No, we're talking about
Our power, the
Yeah.
power in the team that we have. We do have a crazy, even in the Hollywood space, the power that we have of buying tickets to go to watch these movies, because we go deep. So even that, like we have a lot of power, but we're like the sleeping giant, like always. We're just enough with the bare minimum, right? We get the bare minimum in Hollywood, 4%, and hey, that's enough. And even that, you got the gatekeepers that for them they close the door on us. It's a lot of that power.
Yeah,
that
but it's
we
time to
don't see.
disrupt because I think also back to the growing up Mexican.
Disrupt.
You get a good job, hold on to it.
Yeah.
We never get told like, oh, ask for more. Fuck that. Walk in the door and ask for more. I think that's time to disrupt those kind of things.
It's time to disrupt.
Yeah, for sure.
And all of that playing it safe, man, that shit no longer like
Viable. It's no longer viable.
no
for-
longer
for
viable
sure.
in the country, especially California.
There's no playing it safe.
You can't
fool.
play it safe. You got to go out for what you want in life. You got to go for it because playing it safe and doing what your parents wanted you to do, dog, like that was their generation. We're living in a whole different generation. Even like in education, fool, like before my son was very into coding. Now it's AI coding. So that's not even a thing no more. Even those type of jobs are being fucking deleted. So even, man, dog, everything is moving so fast.
Yeah, dog.
Super fast. And our generation has seen everything. Our generation has seen the whole, fucking, well, like just everything is moving quick for me.
But even like just like you're saying, like our parents, just the bare minimum. Like me trying to explain like my parents that I'm gonna go to a protest. Like it's like they don't do that. They don't like.
They don't complain, huh? They don't complain.
They don't do that. They don't think of doing that. They don't want to like
Part of it. In
Don't
a way.
put yourself
they're
in
part
a
of it. They don't
position,
want to
you know what I mean?
stand. They stand for it, but they don't partake. And you have to kind of let them know, like,
You kind of need to.
yeah, you kind of need to, and for them to like see that me and my family, and my kids, we're going to like little protests, like, that's like new for them, and also my kids, my parents are learning from it. Also, my kids are learning from it.
That's dope, dog.
So like,
And honestly, that's what the protest felt like to me. For like, I was out there for the people that couldn't, like my
Yeah.
mother and shit. You know what I mean?
And I think our parents are proud of us when we go to these protests
They are,
because,
fool.
because they can't and they don't know either why or how. But when they see us go, they're like, okay, he's doing something
for
for
them,
us.
fool, for you.
Because I remember
Yeah.
I kind of told my dad that I was going to a protest, and he kind of smiled, and I was like, it kind of tripped me out, like, why would you smile for this? But then it kind of just made me realize that he understands that I'm doing this for him,
Yeah.
and like for the family.
That's what
So
that's what they came here for. Even though they don't realize that, they're realizing
sure.
now.
Yeah.
Because imagine in their mind they never realized this. They never thought about this. But to see you, like, yo, that's what they came here for, fool. For us to move, push it forward, fool.
Pulling the ball
Push it forward, and we're here to make sure our roots are respected, fool, and our community are protected. So just that full of moving forward, just like knowing that not everybody's part of the community. Some people just
live.
way, and they're not leaders. They're just here to be led, and that's fine. Just move the fuck out the way and let the niggas that are doing the shit do the shit. Don't criticize the movement if you're not part of the movement.
Yeah.
You're just one of those people that are gonna keep typing away and just play that safe ass life, and it's cool. But for me, it's like, nah, we're here for my generation, for my family, full of scholars. We're pushing the culture forward. Like that's what I take pride on. Like that, my family comes with that. It comes with educated individuals and homeowners and people that are not in jail. They're not druggies out here, and they're pushing the community forward. And even in my family, there's a couple of them that were on the weird shit, on the weird side of history, of like more on the Trump side. But not to say even Trump, just like on the side of like conspiracy theories and believing shit like that. And made me see like, that we're not all the same. We're not all here for the same reasons. But I just know that I'm here for my community, and I'm really from LA to push my culture forward. I'm not gonna get ran off. I'm not gonna get ran off and just hide in the shadows. Nah, we're here to continue moving forward because my kids are watching me. That's what even like I had to realize I gotta be careful because now my nephews are watching me, and my godsons are watching me in these podcasts. So even thinking like that, I had to readjust a lot of things,
For sure.
because people are watching, seeing my face being out there more, and like, damn, I gotta like.
That's scary for him.
It
For
is.
sure. We never wanted to do that. I never wanted to do that.
Yeah, but you know what is you know what I've realized the last 2 weeks is part of the initiation to level up in your comfort.
Yeah.
Like I was too comfortable, and being comfortable is never good especially for the foods that really do it.
Oh yeah, I think like we were talking, to not fit in, you have to stand out for him.
You have
And
to stand out.
That's what this is, standing out for him.
Standing
Comfortable
out,
and not
being
comfortable.
uncomfortable, fool, because
I think that's the hardest
people
part, to be honest.
that is the hard fool.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I started doing like my interviews like last year. Started getting because I was challenging myself and putting myself in uncomfortable situations on purpose, and you know what? It's working out.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, it's working out way, and I'm learning from a lot of these things, a lot of these decisions. But at the same time, I gotta be who I am, regardless. I gotta be who I am. I'm not perfect. Even in the whole discussion about the N word, you know, we've been having a lot of discussions about that. Even in the new episode of All Fast, we get into it because of the Mexican
shit, okay.
OT.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So even like that, like and understanding, like we gotta respect how people feel disrespected when
Absolutely.
you know, at the same time, understand like you can't be arrogant because that's not our words to even to like try to dictate.
Yeah.
But respect people that don't feel comfortable with that word. And for me, how I process it, I'm like, I don't call my N word, my niggas, to people like that are not my friends. Like if I use that word on you, it's because we're really close. So you're never gonna catch me being in a crowd calling that to just anybody that I see.
Kendrick concert, no?
Nah. Like, you know, like I wouldn't call that to people that are not part of my inner circle.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my fucking my point of view. Like, but at the same time, I'm not gonna use it in a public setting. Like, let's say I'm in a show, right? And there's a group of people. I'm not gonna be using it like that. No, I'm gonna use it with people that are my people. I'm not gonna use it to somebody that just because I feel like I'm in the hip hop space. Let me call these fool that he's black. Let me call him my N word because that's not what I do anyways. I only do it to my people that are people that I know.
No, for sure.
And that was my response
Yeah, I
to
thought
it.
Mexican OT's take was just wrong.
It was wrong.
It was not empathetic at all, and not sitting in their shoes. Like he's just saying fuck everybody. This is what I say.
Break down that video.
I didn't see it.
So basically, what Mexican OT. So with Mexican OT, he was being interviewed by Angela Yee. Shout out to Angela Yee.
But it was the other girl that asked. No, I think.
Yeah. I think it was Lip Service, right? Lip Service.
not sure.
That's her podcast.
Okay.
And then it was the girl. Her co-host asked Mexican OT about the N word, and he had said. First, he looked around the room and like, is there any black person that was in the room? I'm like, it was weird because like there's females that are black. Like, why are you looking for a male figure? And then he said, what are you gonna do about it? To me, that was just wrong, fool. It was just like, who do you think you are, fool, to even like, you're around a bunch of women. They're not gonna oppress you on that. Even though they probably, some of them probably would, but it was just kind of weak for me to like, you should have that tape. Like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? I'm like, hey, but he apologized because shit, like, he knows he's gonna see some people from the East Coast to the West Coast. He's gonna see people that are not gonna be cool with that. And you letting them know what you're gonna do, but fools are gonna show you, fool. I know you're from Texas, but dog, you get humbled as well. You know what I mean? And you know what? Not to pull it out there. I hope somebody does like check them, fool, like in person. Somebody that's from that community and could talk sense to that fool. Like, yo, dog, that's not
No,
cool.
I think it was the right thing for him to apologize, and I think
Yeah.
that's what happened behind the scenes.
And I still feel like he still needs to get pressed. Like all of that up, yeah. You still just respected them, and hey, and when they see you, when you're in LA, you're around people that are not gonna be tolerating that type of behavior. Hey, dog, and it's up to you to like be able to be held accountable for those situations because you do gotta be held accountable, in my opinion. And I don't know, I thought it was kind of whack, but shout out to the Mexican OT. I'm glad that he apologized, and I'm glad that I don't believe in the whole canceling thing, but I just do believe of him knowing his lesson and letting his people know as well, like where his stands now, and to be able to be corrected. That's the dope fool. I think that's cool for you to feel that you were wrong and saying it out loud, and don't let your ego just ignore it. You know what I mean? Because even like we interviewed Drexel Joint. Shout out to Drexel Joint. We had him in the pod a few weeks ago with the Full Community podcast, and even him because he had the issue with somebody in his entourage said the N word, but the ER word, right? With the ER.
I don't know.
But he used the racial slur. It wasn't him, but it was somebody that was around him. And then ever since then, fool, his light has been a little dimmed. And even him trying to figure it out and speaking up, like, yo, dog, I'm 19. I just realized that I'm even Afro-Latino. Like, I didn't know, I'm barely learning. So even him being vulnerable in that interview, make sure you guys check it out, it's out now. He was being vulnerable for like, yo, I'm black. I'm barely like understanding even that. Like, I'm from Guerrero, and even understanding that like that community is full of a lot of Afro-Mexicans, and to know that I'm not Blaxican, I'm Afro-Mexican. Even him like learning full and being able to, as young as he is, understand that and yo, fool, you know, you come back stronger, fool. You'll be back, fool, because you're talented. You were raised well. So and I'm pushing for Drake to join to continue doing his shit and continue to uplift the community way, because he is one of the ones that I feel like could continue pushing the music forward, and hopefully he learns from this and educates people around him like, yo, that's not cool. You know, that's not how we should be moving in this industry like that.
Do you remember DJ Flex, fool?
DJ Flex, nah.
It was like this South American artist, but his name before DJ Flex was like the N-word.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What happened to that fool?
He changed his name to DJ Flex.
Oh shit.
Because he didn't realize he was trying to come. He was blowing up full globally, full.
Yeah.
But that was his name because he loves the culture. You know, it was never like no hate speech type shit. But then he couldn't break into the U.S. markets, so he had to change his name, fool, just because of all the backlash he got.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's just it's a tough word, and it's not up to us to say how people.
It's not, and I think we should respect that, and that's how I've always treated it. You know.
Yeah, I use it still here and there with people that are my inner circle for. But at the same time, I'm not like gonna use it in public places where it's just, you know, I'm not gonna use that in public places. It can come off wrong to somebody. It could come off wrong. Like, you're never gonna catch me like in a corporate building talking like that.
Or overuse it.
Or overuse it, and when I do it with my inner circle when I'm hanging out with my inner circle.
What do you think about?
Or podcasting sometimes here.
What do you think about Quentin Tarantino writing it into a script?
What do you mean?
Is that okay?
Well, I think when it comes to art and it's for a reason, and if it's like a character, I think that's fine for us. That's a creative freedom. I think that's great. Why? What do you think?
Similar.
Is it?
I don't know if it's great, but I think it's valid.
Is it because of the whole Django? Because I remember that
he has a lot of movies that actually say it.
Yeah,
he has way more movies, but the Django specifically, he got criticized for writing it into a script.
But I think that's also a very realistic thing, fool.
No, definitely.
It's a very realistic thing. People do that. People say that in the bad way, in the good way. People do say it. And I think as a filmmaker, you shouldn't censor yourself.
For sure. Because then it comes to censoring everything.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to make it as authentic as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm writing, I've been locked in with Jeff Echo, rewriting my short film. No, I'm not going to call it a short film. It's going to be a feature. And the word terms, right? Like all these racial terms and like after we finish the first draft, I'm gonna have a black writer look at the dialogue and see, because I'm trying to get it as authentic as possible, fool. And I'm gonna have people check it out and to see if it's authentically, like, even though it's raw, because it is a lot of racial things involved. And then now with this whole ICE thing, it's not about ICE, but even this whole ICE thing plays a part in that film. So, and it always has. The story I've had, it plays around that, about immigrants. So it just, right now, with all that's going on, it empowered me to continue. And then, you know what's funny? I'm having these writing sessions, and then the homie David Ayer sends me a DM, like, randomly, like, yo, for what you been up to these last couple of days? And just like, it's just like, I told him, you know, I'm writing this film about this type of point of view. And he was like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, like, during pain, like, you gotta write, you gotta be creative, and that's what's for him has been his medicine. Yeah, it's just like the hints that the universe gives you, fool. At the right time, fool, and at the right time, like, just gives you the nice hint, like damn, like. And this is something that I've been wanting to do, but at the same time, I've been building co-media and as a business, and sometimes you get caught up in the business side, and you got to remind yourself, go back to that creative side as well.
And then I think the other important thing there is, even as a creator, I think it's felt weird to create, but it is important to remember that all art matters, because you're pushing, you have power in what you're narrating and what you're putting out there. So yeah, for sure, create when there's painful, because that's some of the best power that's gonna come out of you, bro.
Yeah.
And then you guys could have that. I mean, that comes from what you guys did with that video when it went viral.
Yeah.
You guys created art where there was pain for them, and you guys did it in a way that it touched people. Even that, like, you're right. Like, that's what we gotta do. And also, like, even like the language is very important, and what you say and how you say it. So I'm implementing that in the script and on the way, because it needs to feel very authentic. You know, I don't want it to feel like a Latinx film or a very
Typical Mexican.
typical, like,
regular.
let me clean these people the language up,
Cliche.
or let me do it this this industry way. No, it needs to be a story. We need to feel it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But yeah,
I'm excited for that one, to be honest. I want to see it.
that's coming to that one. That one's gonna be like I said, I'm working with Jeff Echo, so we expect a good production. We're both excited,
If you
and
need a character in the background, let
well,
me know.
look,
A little extra.
You gotta work on your
Extras.
Spanish. You gotta work on your Spanish, bro.
yeah, you do gotta recognize Spanish. I think the hardest part of that is gonna be the casting part,
Casting.
because we're casting kids and we're casting immigrants. So it can. I'm looking to have casting calls in Mexico City.
Oh, damn, nice.
I want to get authentic people that are, in Mexico City is like the LA, like the New York, where most of the people that are into acting are usually living in Mexico City and Latin America.
It's a creative hub.
The creative hub. So I want to have an audition process over there, and like say that I had done that too. Like to do it in Mexico City would be a meaningful thing. And
We got to record the whole process, too, because that's pretty unique. It's pretty cool.
I want to do it that way, fool.
Yeah.
I want to get these characters. I want to feel these characters. And even having that process with Jeff Echo was a little therapeutic, fool. Because now I'll get to go through my upbringing and how I'm using all these traumatic experiences that happen in the hood, being brown and in the black community, and how the clashing of all that. And just to be able to like remember all these things, fool, like it was very therapeutic and see through Jeff. Jeff's from the Valley, so he's like just getting this information, and then he's helping me like create and formulate these
together.
stories, formulate them in a way where it could be impactful and shit. And
For sure.
yeah, I'm excited for that for it. And it's been a long time coming for that. I needed to write something that, and I told Jeff this, like, I want to write something that I know. I don't want to do a script where it's not what I know. It has to feel like I know these people. It has to feel like experiences for it. It can't just be a movie. It needs to have a heart. I don't want to worry about getting all these influencers to be actors in the movie just to get clout. Fuck all that. I want to paint art, and I want to use voices and actors that could give us these emotions primarily. I'm not worrying about getting like I said, like a clout. I mean, like a influencer to play this character. Nah, I want to make sure that authentic as possible because I'm representing my community, and I wanted to feel like real. And that's one of the things that Latinos in Hollywood space struggle with. Used to have something that feels authentic and not that has been.
Too many people touch the project.
Too many people touch the projects.
Yeah, for
Too
sure.
many people that are like what I said. What I've said before is that I feel like too many scholars that are from our community, but they never experienced the community.
That left early on and they're trying to like touch back on it, but they didn't grow up here.
They didn't grow up over here. They were not outside. They went to school here. They're from here, but they never really touched the community. Fool.
They weren't hurt by it.
They weren't. Yes, they weren't hurt by it. They weren't outside. They were. What's it called? They were home shelter more. They ended up doing great things, but these are people that are writing our stories right now, and you could feel that disconnection. I
for
feel
sure.
it.
They feel washed down. They don't feel like
It feels washed
extremely
down.
raw, for sure.
And even if it's Latinos creating these type of movies or shows, we're not gravitating to them because
They'll say a fucking line in English, half
resonate.
English and half Spanish.
It's
Like,
like,
that's
bro.
not how we speak.
and it's so formula based for the
Mi
industry. That,
abuelita.
yeah, like who says that shit? Fool.
Hey, you can cast it.
It's always like your grandma or abuelita.
All right, now we do have a guest coming up, so we'll catch you guys in a little bit right now. We're about to get the guest coming up, and yo, we just launched a new website, mycold.tv. Make sure you guys go check it out. Subscribe to the newsletter. We're gonna be dropping giveaways. We're gonna be dropping merch. catch all the content that we have on this channel. And just tune in. We have a lot of big things coming. Make sure you guys follow, subscribe, support us, man. Catch you guys next time. We back. I love that. We back. Mr. Sound Effects.
Oh, for real.
Shoo, we back with our special guest, VASHTI, right? VASHTI. I'm over here like trying to. Yeah, what up? What up?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for pulling up, man. We needed our first woman in the mix, right? Yeah, it is.
First girl?
Yeah, damn, dope.
true.
Because like for me, I'm gonna like look for like women voices that are like here to talk and be kind of like well versed on music
Culture,
and
yeah,
it's culture and yeah. So I've been like trying to see, but it's also I've been kind of a little busy.
There's
but,
lots of girls out here.
Yeah, there's a lot. I'm trying to get into those circles.
Sleeping.
I am sleeping. I think it's just getting more familiar in those circles more. Like, cause I know there's a lot of women doing it, and even in the hip hop journalistic side of the LA rap scene, it's just being able to tap in more and because it's just I'm more like I gotta diversify more my actual audience and stuff for sure. But so let me know where you from, what you do.
I'm not originally from LA.
Okay.
I'm from Orange County.
Shout out to Orange County. What part of Orange County?
Fountain Valley? Fountain Valley?
Oh, Fountain Valley. Okay. Oh, that's kind of like in between almost like LA, right? Fountain Valley is like the first
That's
city?
like by Knott's.
No, Fountain Valley is by Santa Ana and Huntington Beach. Like
Oh,
in between.
okay.
Like Huntington's the outside and then Fountain Valley.
Oh, and what's your what do you do out here as a creative?
So I'm mostly behind the scenes.
Yes.
I do a lot of social media marketing, just a lot of like digital marketing, writing, working with podcasters or YouTubers, content creators, breaking down content and like rolling it out the right way, making sure your content has intention behind it.
Okay.
If you have goals, you want to make sure you reach your goals. So
Is it more in the music space or
Definitely music space.
So it's more in the music hip hop culture.
right,
Oh, that's dope.
mostly mainstream right now.
Yeah.
I'm with Rap TV. If you follow
Oh
that page
shit,
on.
that's fire. Shoo.
So it's like every day pushing that machine.
Oh, okay.
So like for the past year, I haven't been as versed in anything that's not like
Rap.
Playboy Cardi,
Yeah.
Travis Scott.
Oh, I just seen them at the fucking weekend show. Oh, shit's fire.
But it's cool because I'm learning like big brand stuff.
Oh, that's so. No, in rap, one of the pictures I do follow. So, hey, shout out to you. That's really dope. Let me know a little bit more of your background. What's your ethnicity, if you don't mind? How you raised?
Real West Coast bitch.
All right, real West Coast it is.
I'm black, Mexican, and
Oh,
Filipino.
shoot. I love that.
Yeah.
I got like all three things going on.
Also, Mexican and black and what else?
Filipino.
Filipino. Oh, that's dope. That is fire. Okay, so growing up, hip hop was like kind of like your identity. Like from my growing up, hip hop was my whole identity.
How do I say this? I guess I would say yes, but I didn't understand it until I was older. Because I've listened to oldies, I listened to rock, I listened to pop, I listened to everything. So music has been part of my like culture since growing up, but hip hop specifically not until I want to say like high school.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, similar to I think probably like high school was way more in the hip hop for me as well. Yeah, but how is this space so far? Like for you being in the industry, what are some of the things you learned?
Some of the things that I've learned, not everybody's your friend.
Facts. Everybody invites you to a lunch that never comes. You should catch lunch.
Reschedule.
You sound hurt.
No, because whenever I meet people, we always have the same like. I always tell people, yeah, we'll hang out, we'll catch lunch, and that lunch never comes, and it's always like we schedule.
That's because you have to have intention, like I was talking about. You have to know what your goals are. You
Yep.
got to know what you can bring to the table.
Yeah.
And then it's also good to know, what the other person needs.
Yeah.
But what got you into this space? Like, what was your first
My first.
first step into like, okay, I want to start doing content or be in that space?
Originally, okay, so when I first started, or like when I was younger, I wanted to be like a music journalist. I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to
Okay,
work,
it's dope.
I like Power 106. I wanted to work at 92.3 The Beat. I was my dad's a driver, so I was a radio girl.
Yeah.
Constantly listening to radio. And then I got my first. You guys know Dash Radio?
I actually worked
Yeah.
at Dash Radio. Shout out to Dash Radio.
So I was interning there for a while, and then
With the pre-pandemic,
yes,
well, then we probably saw each
a
other.
long time. So there was I'm not even gonna name the show.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
don't want to talk about that show.
Okay.
Wait, I think I know which one.
But it was a classic hip hop show. I'm not gonna name it.
Okay.
And
Was it the one in Cahuenga, right? In Cahuenga? That was it that office or the
Yeah.
one? Yeah. Okay.
so I was doing this like classic hip hop. So we would do Gangstar,
Oh shit! Hell yeah.
CL Smooth. We
Pete
did
Rock. Yeah.
Pete Rock. Who else did we interview? Bahamadia. People from the East Siders, Corrupt, Daz, just like
Okay.
anyone old you can think of. Wu-Tang. So I kind of got my education during that time,
Okay.
like official, like golden era education. I didn't really know about Black Star before then.
Yeah.
And then there used to be you guys remember Low End Theory?
Yes.
Yes.
So I used to pop up there too every once in a while. So
shit.
that was more of my like, I'm old enough to get out and kind of go to these shows and kind of learn more.
Yeah.
Rather than just being home listening to music. So I got my start there, and then I got hired at K-Day. So
Oh, that's dope.
when I was at K-Day, then it's just kind of like,
You do have that radio voice, I would say.
I hate my voice.
You have a radio voice.
You've probably heard me like Cherries and Berries commercials, or I did a lot of commercials for the
okay.
station, like little voiceovers. But I was working at K-Day as a receptionist, and then that's just like the same thing, music over and over. You want to see who, like some songs I've never heard before. And I'm always just like educating myself on that. From there, K-Day bought Power 106, and then I was at Power for a while. Left there, I was working for Exhibit.
Shout out to Exhibit.
Left there, then I was working for No Jumper
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to No Jumper too.
from like 2020 to 2024.
Oh, the hectic days.
Yeah, I think
The
I
golden
remember.
era.
Yeah. That was during the Fallout era, I think. Right? Yeah.
And then if you were watching the news, I had like, was in the back of my orange
Yeah.
laptop. And then now I'm at rap. So that's kind of my journey.
And going when you reached the radio, was it what you
So
go
no.
for it? Was it what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
thought in mind? Because once you get to these places, a lot of you kind of get like a little disappointed, right? But what was
You
your
do get
experience?
disappointed. So that's kind of how I got into social media and marketing.
Yeah.
I'm at K-Day. It's a smaller station.
Yeah.
The smaller station did buy the bigger station as far as K-Day buying Power 106. But
Yeah.
at the time, I'm at K-Day, smaller station. I'm the receptionist. You got to see me first when you come in.
Yeah.
And I'm on social media.
Yeah.
The hosts are a little bit older. So I'm realizing like I'm more popping on social media than
Yeah.
they are. They got fake followers at that time.
Yeah.
Bots.
Like people were buying fake followers at that time, like the companies and doing things like that. So I just started like using my social media to get behind the scenes. That's kind of how I've grown mine. I'm not huge on social, but that's kind of how I've grown things like that. And then if you won, you have to come see me.
Yeah.
I'm the person with the tickets.
Okay.
So I'm like, hey, like I'm the person that has to be excited for you.
Yeah.
I have to greet you. So
That's interesting that you mentioned that because I think growing up, I used to look at the radio hosts as celebrities, but now you realize now with all this media that it's the opposite. Now they're tapping into like influencers or people that are social media savvy.
Yeah.
Because they're not surviving without it. So you realize how that gap kind of changed. Radio like changed a lot.
No, it has changed a lot.
then people would come up to me and be like, oh, that's so dope. You work at the radio station. And to me, I'm like, I feel like I work at the bank. Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's the thing. It's still my 9 to 5. I clock in. It's like regular. You're not getting overly paid. If you want more out of that career, you have to do more. And then like reality hits. Big Boy has been on the radio since I was a kid.
Yeah.
That man's not coming off the mic.
Yeah.
Nope.
So you want to spend the rest of your life just sitting here waiting for him, or you got to get up and do something else. So
No, that's right. Because a lot of these people are they're like they're even like the Angie Martinez.
Angie Martinez,
Like
They're not
Flex
leaving.
still there. Like get the fuck
Flex
out
has
the
been
way.
there my whole entire life. What are you doing?
Yeah, honestly,
So like,
I
it's not a realistic career, and you're just kind of like, wow, I worked my whole way to be here. I'm so happy I'm in the door. I work at the station. I have my business card and has the logo on it, and I go to these concerts. But you're not gonna that dream that you want. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like, damn, that's the basketball dream.
and you know what? That's how that Breakfast Club got created because a lot of them were behind the Hot 97s, and even them like like DJ Envy realizing, yo, Funk Master Flex is never gonna leave.
You got to start your own thing. Type
So you
shit.
gotta like start your own shit, and you're right. Like, and I've always thought about that. Like, yo, it's time to retire a lot of these voices, fool. Like, shout out to Big Boy, dog, but he
Shout out to Big Boy.
He needs to move into like a TV thing now because
You can't even go to like the Wave. 'Cause
yeah,
even people at the Wave, they're not giving it up.
they're not giving it up.
Liz Fernandez is still on radio.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I think she's at the Wave.
What the way? Because I always wonder like what does she do now? Because I don't see her promote anything, but I do see her
You gotta
popping
go the
still.
Lala route.
Yeah,
She was hosting the Met Gala
she was. Lala was with even like yeah like.
and on MTV.
Also, you're tapped in super heavy even with the East Coast thing, right? Like the East Coast medias.
Yeah. I
Like-
love the East Coast. I love New York.
For me, I only consume East Coast
Coast.
media. Honestly, I don't consume. To me, a lot of these West Coast media, a lot of it is just like corny,
There's not like a staple big spot that's positive.
and they're very corporate in the West Coast. And the East Coast, they have more grit because I guess they feel more entitled because like hip hop came from the West. So a lot of these like hosts from over there, they have more balls. They'll say takes. Without over here, when you go to like the Big Boy interviews, dog, everybody's
safe.
kissing their ass.
Yeah, it's
Everybody's kissing
It's
cars.
just safe. Yeah,
It's so safe. That's why
That's true.
that's why whenever I watch anything is either mostly East Coast because they have for me like the better even in the podcast game they have a way more dynamic scene. And
They do have hella podcasts.
they do, and a lot of them are very successful. A lot of them are very successful. Fool. Talking about podcasts,
The radio is different out there though.
it is different. In what way for you?
You'll be listening to like I don't know what their like rap stations are. Well, yeah, they're rap stations, and you'll be in the car, and then they'll start playing a Spanish song out of nowhere, and then the next song might be a reggae song or like a Afrobeat song
Yeah.
on the same like. It has to do with their DJs, whoever's playing them.
Camilo, we're watching you.
But like, I think
So they actually let the DJ play what they want, as opposed to here where everything's just paid to play.
yeah, and then I've been in restaurants too where like they're playing Spanish music, and then all of a sudden it's like rap and then reggae music, and I think the people there have more culture because
Yes,
they're used to that.
for sure.
So there might be a black person that like, oh, I know this Spanish song because they play it at the restaurant and they play it on radio, and there might be a Spanish person like, oh, I know this Jamaican song.
Yeah.
So they have more culture out there. So maybe that gives them more confidence to speak.
Yeah, because they have more confidence out there for sure, and
And the history of crate digging too. That's how samples and like songs blew up because of crate digging.
even like for me, one of the first podcasts that hip hop wise, the Juan Ep with Cypher Sounds and Peter Rosenberg,
Yes.
and that birthed the Joe Budden pod with Marissa. That's why I was working with Marissa Mendez from Double XL and Dash Rate. That's when I was with her at Dash. Even watching day and day, yeah, name drop. Shout out to Marissa. To this day, she's hooking it up. But yeah, like seeing them, like I always looked at over there.
I used to listen to Combat Jack.
Combat
he's
Jack.
OG.
I don't
He's
know.
the OG of podcast for real. That's what everybody says.
I don't see it that way. I will put Cypher
'Cause I think-
Sounds fool and Peter Rosenberg. They were before him.
But
I think they were before, but
They were before him, fool.
But I think he brought the podcast in a different way. Like he started speaking more about everything else as opposed to just music.
I think he handled it more like a network before anybody else. I think Juan Ed was more of a singular, and then he brought it he had I think different type of shows. So he had it more like a network. So I think Joe Budden, everybody learned through that.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
he had a different relationship with the artist.
He did. You know what? Combat Jack, rest in peace, Combat Jack.
RIP.
R.I.P.
Yeah, and that's crazy. But yeah, I even to this day, when it comes to media, still even the Breakfast Club, like the new additions they have is fire. The new hosts they have.
I like her a lot.
Oh, I like her a
I like
lot.
the girl a lot. She's very inquisitive too, bro.
Very.
She has very good questions.
And she's not scared to say things. You know, she's scared to question things. She's not scared to question things. She's here to create her own even narratives. To me, that's fire when you're able to do that. That's
That
why.
is the hard part, having your own opinion. on
Yes.
things. I struggle with that because I'm very like, what are the facts? What are the facts? What are the facts? And I don't ever want to just put misinformation out there.
Yeah.
And I've seen Joe Budden do that or like other people, but I'm the person who's writing these reports all day on social media. So I'm like reading things. I'm always scared to give my opinion. I don't want to get canceled either.
It's scary.
I'm that person. Yeah,
It's scary, but yeah, I think it's necessary sometimes too. for
definitely.
sure.
It's funny we were just talking about.
We're just talking about that.
But how are you working to like overcome that? Are you even interested to even like get more like give it more of your take now, or you feel like
Yeah, I'm comfortable talking if I feel like I'm well versed and I know what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
for
So
sure.
I'm definitely that person. If I don't know what I'm talking about, then I'm not gonna say anything at all. And that's just kind of where I'm gonna leave with it. Like, I haven't read enough about this, or I don't know. enough to speak on it. So we're gonna pass.
Yeah. And yeah,
You got to do your research, but I think that's what gives me confidence is if I understand what the whole story, the who, what, when, where, why, I'm good.
and for you, was it hard to like even get to that point where you were speaking or even being in front of things, or you're still even trying to battle with that?
I'm not trying to battle with it. I think I give myself more opportunity and more space to speak.
Okay.
Before it was just straight journalism, so I'm old school.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what are the facts? This is what happened. We don't really care about my opinion. It wasn't really about me.
Yeah.
And now we're in that kind of
There's a difference. You have to kind of step out and say your opinion, right? As
Right.
opposed to just recite facts.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that's what people, for me, that's what attracts me to people when they have their own take. Even though, like, even in the Joe Budden, sometimes they don't even know what they're talking about, but it's just funny.
Yeah, that's what brings a personality. You get to know them as a
Exactly.
as a
People
media
connect with
personality.
you. People connect with you more that way if
Definitely.
you're opinionated.
And also being open to be corrected, right? I like it even
That's
from,
important, for sure.
from them, like they get corrected and then they'll take it back and then they'll have a different take.
I've learned
That's
that.
key.
Yeah, I've learned that's important because I used to have a hard time being corrected, but that's super important.
I like when people do that too, though. When they come back and they're like, you know, I was wrong about this, and I've been educated over the weekend. And
I had to learn that, yeah, for sure. That was not easy being corrected.
but I love being educated. I have no problem being educated. I think
Yeah.
it's the best thing in life is like correct me, check me. Like I'm open to that.
And also, we're always learning. I just feel like we're never not learning. If you feel like you know it all, you're
student for life.
You're a student for life. And if there's no evolution, like to me, it's just part of
But
it.
with so much like online right now, it's so hard not to drown yourself in just learning, right? Do you
That's all
find
you do.
yourself?
That's all I do.
That's what I'm saying. So it's hard not to like step away from it. Like all you want to do is take in information.
There are some people who don't though.
You
They're
mean like the
people
opposite?
People who just work like they're 9 to 5. They go home, they watch TV, and they're not really interested
That's
in
what
trying to educate
We're
themselves
just talking
more.
about that too. Like you've been watching Love Island, no?
Yeah, I'm watching Love Island, which is fire.
But Love Island is like I haven't
Culturally
watched
relevant.
it, and so I feel like I need to watch it because like
Because everybody's
yeah.
talking about it.
Episode
Yeah.
17. That's
And
the
I've
one.
been avoiding
season
it just
6.
for that. I've been avoiding it just for that reason. I haven't watched it just because everybody's talking about it. And I don't want to watch it.
Everybody's talking about it too, and yeah, I like to see.
But it's hard to detach from conversations online too, because you always want to learn. And I think I get stuck in that, just obviously learning.
But do you ever like just kind of like detach yourself and just do something that just kind of like just stimulates you, or do you just feel like that you always got to watch something that you have to learn
I
from?
feel like that's how I stimulate, like taking in information.
Lately, I've been like stepping away from the always gotta watch to learn, and just kind of
Enjoy it.
enjoy it and just have like those
can't.
times.
That's hard. So I work 7 days a week.
Oh shit, that's
I
fine.
work 12 plus hours. I'm working right now. If someone dies,
You're
like,
like,
we got to be on it. Yeah.
I'm on that Diddy side right now.
That's exactly how it was.
I had already posed guilty, or I had 2 posts. I had a guilty and not
ready to go?
guilty.
That's how we were
Ready to go.
We were drafting it up too.
You're right. And what's a typical day for you for like somebody that manages social media pages for like news? Like, how do you live? Like, do you have to wake up at a certain time, or do you feel like
So I've been doing this for so long.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like I read every single day. So there's very little that I don't see in that like early curve. So
Yeah.
sometimes when people send me stuff I already saw a couple weeks ago or something.
But what's the first app that you open up when you wake up?
Slack. The first thing I do is open Slack and see because so
What is Slack?
It's a messaging platform.
Yeah.
so hip hop
See, I
conversations
gotta-
start on the East Coast, right?
Of course.
So I wake
You're
up
2 hours behind. Or-
I'm 3
no,
hours behind
3 hours,
if I wake up
yeah.
at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I have coworkers that work on the East Coast and in Florida. So the first thing I open is Slack and seeing if anyone said anything to me specifically. My specific job as a social media manager with Rap is Twitter, and Twitter kind of leads the conversation. So whatever I missed, and I like this is horrible. I probably went to sleep at 3.
Yeah.
So there's only like a couple
That
hours
you
that,
missed and you
Yeah.
still
that I
missed something.
and then you still miss something. So I post 15 to 20 times a day within like an hour in real
Damn.
time.
In an hour?
Within like 45 minutes, an hour. Sometimes I go back to back though. If something's happening, I'll just keep going. There's no max to how much I can post. My goal is to keep the conversation going. My goal is to try to be not first because it's repurposed,
Yeah.
but just to start off, I open Slack. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. If I'm still tired, I won't get up until around 7. But I'm there having conversations or I'm drafting something, whether it's good morning, like breaking the fourth wall, or whatever I had missed. Draft it, get up by 7, tweet it off.
Yeah.
I'm a smoker, so I have to like before anyone bothers me, I need to get a smoke break in.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't tell nobody.
And you know what? Like for me, X is the first app, and then the last
That's
app.
my news in the morning, fool.
X is
That's
always
the first
for
thing
me.
I open.
Even at, like you said, at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, I'm finishing editing already done. I'm in bed for like at least 30 minutes catching up.
So those are like the first two that I open. Then I might open one on my personal Instagram. My like login time, so from before 6 to 9, I feel like I soft going. Like
Okay.
but at 9 o'clock, if I see like 9 o'clock hit, then I start going hard from 9 to 9. Because that's midnight on the East Coast.
Yeah.
But, before that, kind of just drafting, getting an idea of like what I want to tweet out, and then looking at the rap Instagram and seeing what we're missing, what we need to do. Because those ones take Photoshop. Where Twitter is just really like organic.
Yeah.
So Slack, Twitter, Instagram, check the emails. I do a lot of.
Go ahead.
So I have an exclusive contract.
Yeah.
But I do some side stuff, so I might check analytics for someone that I'm helping on their like YouTube channel. My TikTok makes money, so I'm gonna make sure that I don't have any flags. I need to appeal something.
Yeah.
Things like that. Those are things that I'm doing between 6 and 9, while getting ready, while playing music or watching an interview.
Do you watch in 2x?
What do you mean?
It's like 2x speed.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I do if I get bored, and it's something that I have to watch. I will do that.
Oh shit! I gotta start
I didn't
doing
know
that.
that was a
fool.
thing.
Yeah, on YouTube
I
you can
gotta
do
start.
2x.
That's a good fucking tip
Yeah,
right
dude,
there,
you gotta
fool.
speed that shit up. People talk too slow.
I do that like if you like hired me to edit your stuff and then I'm breaking it down. Definitely, I'm not watching your stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
yeah.
a 3x on that one.
Oh, you know what? I gotta start
And what's your
doing
tech
that.
setup? How many screens you got going?
So I have 2 phones, and then on my laptop and an iPad, and then I have a desktop. And I work from home, and I'm very like much of a creative, like an artist person rather than someone who can just sit there. So I will move around all day long, from my desk to my bed to the living room, just constantly moving between different phones. iPad.
I would like to have a tip from you. How do you appeal? What's your best method to appeal a video on TikTok?
What do you mean?
Like, let's say one of your, like for me, when I'm posting like one of my podcast like clip that I took out from DaVinci straight to the internet, a lot of times I get flagged as unoriginal.
Unoriginal.
How do you appeal that successfully?
I just have like a little script saying that I created this using my own edits, using my
Yeah.
own content, my own script. Say it's your voice or it's from your content.
Yeah.
Is it posted anywhere else?
Only on YouTube.
It should be fine then. When you appeal it, does it normally get flagged?
So
go through?
what I've noticed that helped out now that I'm appealing it differently, when I'm adding the website for the production team, I add, this is a podcast, this is a YouTube page, but this is also the website where you can find more information. And that's helped out a little bit.
I've never had to have that much information. Usually it's just kind of like, I think this was flagged by mistake. This is my original content. This is where it came from. And this is what I always put like what we're using it for. So
Yeah.
It's educational, always.
Oh, no, my needs probably a little tempered from your script. Because I battle with that
No,
a lot.
I can send it to you.
Oh, I will appreciate that. Because I battle a lot with that with like...
With unoriginal.
Unoriginal
That's
shit.
everybody, though. And it's been more since it came back, right?
Yeah.
And you're making less.
Yeah, you less money.
Man, you're making less money. So I'm
Fucking
like, what's
Trump.
up?
I think it's Donald Trump or something. Do you enjoy, like, as you post and you're always seeking information, but do you enjoy, like, your regular life? How do you balance that, regular life and having a life?
I don't have a life.
Like, I don't.
I don't have
It's
a
part of the job.
That's what they say. Like
That's the reality.
with rap, they're like their company culture is like we're all LeBron.
Yeah.
Like everybody's LeBron. So like everybody's Kobe. They're just like a crazy high performance, high vibration. Everything's just overly explained. We might have a meeting about a graphic and just talk about the zoomed up part on your face, like the littlest thing, but it comes down to, like I was saying, intention.
Yeah.
And like what your goal is.
Yeah.
What's on your music rotation right now, or what are you watching on the background when you have YouTube on?
Usually like friends. So if I subscribe to your stuff, I don't spend a lot of time watching. So I'll watch whatever. Figmunity, Whole Fashions,
Shout out to Whole Fashions.
Trap Ross, whatever.
What's your top 3, like, pods that you enjoy? Like,
Top 3 pods that I enjoy.
Not to like get information, but to actually like enjoy it.
I don't think I listen to pods enough lately. I've been locked into like the streamers more. And I think that's just because we're in this like shift.
That's a big shift
So
right now.
it's like
Huge
a
shift, yeah.
research for me. More.
I was gonna say, how much of what you consume is research as opposed to you enjoying it?
Mostly everything's research.
Yeah, right. Because
The
you
things
enjoy the
that I
research.
And then if I do watch something that I enjoy, it's like something super stoic. Like, I don't know.
And do you smoke weed to like lock into what you're doing, or is it more of like just because I've noticed that I smoke weed to like block off any other thoughts and just focus
tunnel
on the
vision?
screen.
Remember,
tunnel
she
vision.
don't smoke weed. Fool.
Huh?
She don't smoke weed.
Oh, you don't smoke weed?
Beep.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I do it like, how do I explain it? You know how you wake up and you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
It's just habit for me at this point.
Yeah.
I could pack the bong and walk around with it all like morning and not even hit it yet, just because I have to wait for like the perfect time. I'm that person. The perfect time, the perfect song, the perfect moment.
You know what? That's funny because I do the same thing. Like I'll have a packed bowl and then it'll be there for 2 hours. And I don't know why. It just like
It doesn't feel it. I don't.
Yeah. That's funny. Because I have that where like I'll pack it and then maybe I'll come in here at 8 and then it's like already like 10, 11 a.m. And I'm like finally get to that point where like,
Yeah, because I'll start working or I'll see something and now I'm writing something. So we do a lot of threads on Twitter.
yeah.
And those take research and just a bunch of just editorial little clips. So I might get caught up doing that. And then I'll look at it, but I'm not ready for it yet. So we do that. But to finish your question, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, I try to eat in between then. I go to the gym at like 11 or 12 in the afternoon for cardio. I go again at midnight and I lift.
Nice.
That's just been my routine for the past 2 months. So I'm not crazy on that. But come back home, shower, in bed, sleep by like 3. Do the same thing over and over.
But do you like it though?
Most days.
Most days.
7 days a week is hard. You get burnout. Burnout's real. I understand that where I'm at is not like sustainable, so I don't plan on doing this crazy workload like for the rest of my life. For me, it's more of a sacrifice right now for a bigger reward later.
And talking about the reward, like what's new for you, or what do you want to build your own platform eventually, or do you have your own platform, or what's that situation?
I definitely want to build my own platform, kind of in the middle of that. I figure since I've worked so much creating these other platforms that are huge, the last 3 clients I've had over millions of followers. I can do it for myself.
Yeah,
It's just kind of the timing
As you
thing,
should.
training people, getting it together.
yeah, that's dope. Yeah,
And then it's important for it to be, I feel like it's important for women to be involved, but also a lot of the
Very
major
important.
platforms are not minority owned, and that's important for me.
yes,
Hip hop history is important for me, so that's why I do like the hip hop agenda where we share hip hop history. I have All Falls Down where we talk about just facts on the culture. I think that's why I try to stay tapped in, where I said the research is important to me. Being tapped in is important to me. I feel like that's my job. So I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to teach people about the culture or having the information and then being able to talk about it. Like I was saying, it's not minority owned, and I feel like we should grow our platforms enough to be able to tell our own history and tell our own stories. I think that's what's important.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
yeah. You know what? You're right. There's a
Control
lot of them are owned by not minorities.
'Cause I will say
They
one,
could switch it up. I'm sorry.
I will say one thing. You know a lot of shit for culture, music, hip hop, streams. You're still learning. Like it's impressive. Even just like your day.
And evolving too to the streaming part, because it's hard to find people that, like you said, do the research from back then and even move forward. Usually have either or. People that are just on the now. Fuck fucking Pete Rock. Fuck all these fools. But it is, to me, it's very important to continue bringing the culture back, pushing it forward still, and look towards the evolution of it. Right?
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't think everyone, like the younger crowd, I don't think they really care too much about
It's a
history.
lost
They
art for sure.
don't.
It's a lost art. Nobody wants to research no more.
That's why even the conversation about Jim Jones and Nas
That was crazy.
bothered me so
Hey, that
much
was
to my
wild,
core.
dog. Yeah,
That was wild.
Yeah,
That
was
that
crazy.
shit bothered me so much to like, And then somebody on Twitter said it the best. You could tell us history about hip hop. You can't tell a history about hip hop without Nas, but you could definitely tell it without Jim Jones. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. And
Someone said like Jim Jones wasn't even the best in his group.
he wasn't.
That's a great point. Yeah.
Like the stuff like that bothers me so much.
But we
Like,
love Jim Jones.
we do love Jim Jones and balling. We still do the balling part. We do love Jim Jones. And for me, like you said, it is very important to still, like, even I take pride on my son, who's 14 years old and has Nas on his playlist. Like, even the
My
newer
godson,
Nas, the
he's in
newer
high
Nas
school.
too.
And he had Tribe on his playlist.
That's so dope. That's dope. And that's when you know, like, they're being, like, put on the right things. Because for me, like, it's very important to, the dope shit that happened 10 years ago, still bring it up and still acknowledge it. Because, you know, it's for only on art, the hip-hop culture is where everything just has a due date. While the white culture, pop culture, they could tour to their like 70, 80, and they're doing still stadiums. But
That's
us,
true.
we're so caught up on what's new. And
Yeah,
for me,
for
that's
sure.
it's dope to be caught up on what's new, but also let's not disrespect our past.
But also like everything that Gen Z thinks is new is not new.
And it's not new.
That's true.
None of the stuff y'all think is new is new.
I know.
That's a fact.
Yeah, and you know, even me and my
These
daughter.
have been
Like,
released like 4 times.
yeah.
You guys need to relax.
Like my daughter, me and her are always finding she's at 12 and she's on the bigger jeans swag. And I'm like, girl, you know, none of that is new. Like all of this is all
Even
brought
the brands
back.
that they like are
Yes.
old school.
I want to bring up recently Willie
Paris
Chavarria.
Fashion Week, bro. That shit
His
was
fashion
fire.
week in Paris, man. Shout out to
Willie
him,
Chavarria,
dog.
putting on for Mexican
For
culture.
Mexicans,
Chicano culture too.
Chicano, black culture. James Harden was in there. Becky G. Wow, bro. It was just so dope.
Did
to
you see the
him.
invitation letter, bro?
Yes,
Yeah.
like
That shit got me my hair standing up.
yeah, dog. Even like they did a little demonstration for protesting the
I like
the
how he did
ice.
that, bro. That was very impactful.
It's just so dope, dog. And like, man, so dope, dog. For me, everything I do is for the culture. Everything I speak is for the culture. So it's very refreshing to find somebody like that
Not bad, huh?
has that same type of love for the culture and even like pushing it forward. Because it's very important to push it forward. Because I'm part of another podcast that it's called the Full Community one, and we always argue because they're so like Draco the Ruler is more influential than Kendrick Lamar, and it's like,
You gotta
bro,
relax.
it's like, yo, even like having that type of take is crazy to me. Because it's like, yo, you're like trying to compare somebody that changed music a couple times.
That's because in LA we only think about LA.
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah.
bigger than here. That's our disadvantage also though.
It is because we don't have no stars, no new stars.
Nope.
We have no, not even somebody that,
You know what we
even when
don't-
you squint, might be a star. No, we have nobody.
We don't take advantage of too is in other areas in the world they do a lot of sampling.
Yeah,
But like we literally had like Art Lebo here. There's everybody knows oldies
yeah.
out here, but they don't put that enough into their music.
Yeah.
Just recently, like, you know, the new song with OGZ and Phoenix, like they're
They're trying to
trying to, and it's working. Like right now, I see it happening, but I think at the same time, like, it's because of that, of the ignorance of like, oh, what's new. But it's dope that these samples things are coming back. Even Kendrick, I know it happened before for Kendrick because I know Sweetie was doing it. A lot of people have been doing it.
even on the East Coast where they speed it up, it's still sampling.
Yeah, still sampling. And I think LA is just too stuck in LA. And I don't, do you see somebody that might cross over? We don't have one.
Wally is gonna cross over.
I love
Wally the Sensei?
Yeah,
like
'cause
him.
he's with Travis Scott right now.
He is with Travis Scott. And he has been buzzing. But do you feel like he has it?
Yes, because I feel like he's similar. I don't.
Because, you know,
This is my
like,
opinion now.
Yeah, throw
you
it
know how you know how they have like the Kid Leroy.
yeah.
I think he's our like version of that. But he's from like Australia, but I guess he signed to like a Chicago label.
Yeah, because for me, like, even like seeing the rise of Kendrick and Schoolboy Q, like, even the road to success, like, we saw, well, I felt like I knew what was coming. Like, I was there in the early shows and, like,
Oh, you're talking about like you felt that way
like
about
you felt
Kendrick.
the way, like, of the Kendrick, of the, even like,
That was at that time though. There was nobody else at the time.
who else would say, like, even like a YG. Like, you saw the, like, you just saw Even when he was dropping Booted and
That's
Tooted,
true.
you know, like
That's
you saw,
the YG Ty Dolla Sign.
like you saw a star there though. Like even like Tyga, you saw a star.
See, we haven't got that to that point yet, because like when Tyga was like getting bigger, he was already like brought in by the label. So that's after he's being like nurtured.
Yeah.
So I think I'm like speaking prematurely.
But even then, even when you say that, like West Side Boogie, he's signed to Eminem, and we have a lot of artists that are signed to big things, but it's still like
That's not the big. Think about it. Being signed to Cactus Jack and then being signed to Shady.
it's two different things.
Don Toliver signed to Cactus Jack.
Yeah, no Tyler's
That's
fine.
huge.
Yeah, it is. Oh shit, he's right there. Damn. No, you're right.
Or I don't know. I'm just saying like those are the. I was just doing a kind of like a random research because I want to throw it right out there on like just brand collabs. I was telling you that's my thing right now is partnerships and branding. Travis Scott did McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
He did the Air One. He's doing Nike. He collabs. He did the football jerseys.
Barcelona.
Fortnite.
Fortnite. There's tons of things that that branding and those collabs, those partnerships that other artists don't have those opportunities.
And also, I think like we don't have enough producers, like fresh producers. So obviously, we have the Alchemist, Legend.
It's
we
the
have, we have
popular
them.
club out here.
It is too much of that, and even to see a lot
And
of
everyone went to school. Everyone.
and everybody's all Draco, right? Everybody's the offspring of Draco the Ruler or somebody else. Like there's not enough originality. Our last star, Rowdy Rich, that was our last star, right?
Last big star, yeah.
That was like the diamond artist right there.
And I think Roddy had to leave and come back. I think YG had to leave and come back, right?
Yeah, I feel like as a West Coast artist, it's very important to like what the TDE did. They were buzzing in New York before they were buzzing in the West Coast. Like they had their first hit with A$AP Rocky, with Hands on the Wheel with Schoolboy Q before they even had a West Coast hit. So even like
crazy.
you have to
And
like
that style is different.
yeah, that style was different too, and you could see that style, right? You saw that when Schoolboy Q came, you saw why he was hitting.
Because
he-
ASAP was doing that same style at that time.
Yeah, I love that era.
Oh, dude, their
I love
collabs is
that
crazy, A$AP
bro.
bro. That fucking Schoolboy and ASAP fool. That shit was different.
And that's kind of like why I also miss of the game. I miss that type of era of like there were so many crews. Even the
Odd Future.
Odd Future. I was
Yeah.
exact Odd Future, the ASAP era, the TDE, and with other like all these like collectives of creatives. I think we need more of that back. We need to go back to that.
Everyone was in there like Wu-Tang, like a fake 90s.
Yeah, I think and right now I feel like there's more unity now within artists. There's no longer of like the blood or the Crip or the homie or the SA whatever. Everybody's just working with each other, but at the same time, everybody's just doing I don't know, man. The LA rap
no
scene.
intention.
There is no intention.
That's the lesson of the day.
There is no intention. That's a very important thing you just said right there. Everybody's just doing it to do it, or like hopefully I get a hit instead of like.
So that Joey Badass versus the West Coast
Yeah.
was very exciting. I think.
Was it?
I think so. Because it was just kind of like, well, on Twitter too, because I was just watching everyone's reactions on Twitter. I think that was something that, the reason why it was exciting because it wasn't Drake and Kendrick. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But you think you were getting excited because of the Drake and Kendrick?
No, I think I was getting excited because so the Drake and Kendrick seemed very serious.
Yeah,
even
it
though
was.
This seemed kind of serious, but not like that.
Yeah.
No one's gonna like. Eventually, it was gonna end.
For
die
you,
out.
who was the winners and who were the losers from that battle? And by winners, just like even the, I know it wasn't serious, but even like say who won out of that, meaning who elevated themselves. Do you think Joey Badass elevated himself?
Elevated himself. I think he's the vet in that situation. He's more known.
Yeah, he's the vet, but he's also been falling off. He's been in a downward spiral
I
for
feel
the
like
last 5
he
years.
reintroduced probably.
Yeah,
He probably benefited the most from it because you already
Hmm.
kind of have a name you can look up more when you're kind of like, who is Joey Badass? He probably, I feel like, winner wise,
I think AC Chike is just. What do you think about AC Chike? Because AC Chike, he's an older artist. He's 30 plus. I don't know if you guys know this, and he's having this weird career. Not a weird career, but very not typical. Where like he's having all these great looks, great moments, great verses, great features. He's at the LV with fucking Pharrell leaking Kendrick's verse. Like he's just so like in the
lagging
space.
on the album, no?
The album
Is
is
he-
coming, but what do you feel like he's is he pushing his career forward, or is it more of a just looks?
Is he signed
He signed to Warner Bros.
to Warner's? I actually don't know. I can't speak on that. I would say don't know how to answer that because I don't know if he's more popular now than he was before.
He is more popular now for sure.
Is he?
Yeah.
for sure.
He's more popular
Yeah, I wouldn't
now.
know because I feel like people who know him, and I feel like I would have to ask someone who's not from here. Like, do you listen to AZ Track now? And then that would have been like, oh, a realization like he's known outside of LA before, and then he's changed his style.
He did. He went more of the artsy style, more of the. When I found out about AZ Trike, I didn't. When I interviewed him, because I interviewed him that day, he got that Kendrick call. He had to put us on pause while he's getting the call.
Oh, that's dope.
And then even though in the interview he talked about like, yo, I wish I could tell you what just happened and yada 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 yada. But like I didn't bump AZ Trike
Before that,
before that. I bumped him when I heard him at the Schoolboy Q Blue Lips album.
Oh, that's-
Because he had a solo record, and I'm like, oh, that feels dope.
so
And-
some people are like the best feature artists, and then you don't really listen to their solo stuff.
Yeah, but his singles has been pretty dope to me. I really like his singles. Like he's has a style, but like I don't know if it's
I think his music grew because he was more like the ratchet style in the beginning.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
Very
true.
ratchet.
And now he kind of has.
But that was that era.
It could be like artsy or like a little bit more mature music where he's locking down that feature with Schoolboy Q and led him to the Kendrick. And then he was the one.
Tyler.
He was the one that checked in with Kendrick to get himself on the show on the
On the
last day.
show.
And he has the singles and like you say he's with Pharrell and
So he's more introspective now.
Yeah, he is more introspective, and like you said, I think his like even the whole Kendrick being able to like
Push yourself.
push yourself to even get it
need
to
that,
on
though.
stage. Like I just feel like he's working so hard, and I feel like the industry is seeing his hard work, and then they're probably like, yo, you know what? Let's advance him.
I
a
can
little
see
bit.
that. That would make sense.
Because now he's at the LV, and I'm like, damn, he's next to Pharrell and just chilling, and I'm like, damn, bro, like what's
But
going
once
on?
you meet Tyler, then you know Pharrell, and then once you like, I keep
Yes.
telling you, it's a popularity
it is
thing out there. So it's like
and I'm
it's who you know.
And I'm glad he's also evolving too, like seeing
Has
his
talent.
seeing his fashion evolve, and he's a great person in person. Like even him, when I met him, he was great energy, great, very polite, very dope, and exciting about even his music. Even though at that time he wasn't the most popular at all.
What I
But-
can say is he's definitely a hip hop fan.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Like,
He's
that's important.
my age, bro. He's around our age. He's like 30s,
no, for
mid
sure.
30s.
Yeah, yeah.
To even have his career like get bigger as this old, to me is dope
That's
to see that.
fine.
Yeah, but you know what? But we don't normalize that, right? Because in the pop world, you could fucking have a hit when you're older. In the hip hop space, man, when you pass 28, you're out of
Like,
here.
get out of here, Unc.
Yeah, you're already an unk if you like, and I feel that sucks. That can also limits us. You know what I mean? It limits us. Like that's why I like what AZ Trike is doing because he's doing it even though he's a quote unquote like a late bloomer, meaning like he's
He doesn't
popping.
look old though.
He doesn't.
Nah, he looks younger than he is.
But the man also black don't crack. Black they are their jeans, bro. They just look at Pharrell. Looking for fucking Pharrell.
Pharrell was young his whole life, and then all of a sudden he just like started looking a little bit older.
A little bit older,
little
yeah.
bit.
A little bit older. Shit.
Hey, talking about Unks for that fucking Clips album. You guys excited for that?
I'm very excited for that Clips
I
album.
can't stop replaying So Be It. For
I
that
still
shit.
haven't listened to the Clips album.
Oh, it's not out yet, but the singles, the art,
Yeah.
the collaborations with it.
I haven't listened to anything. I've just been reading the lyrics.
Okay. Why is that?
I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
I'm not ready.
Do you want to hear it as a project?
I still haven't listened to Lil Wayne's album because I'm not ready.
I haven't listened. I've not turned it
I
on. 'Cause
did.
I saw the feedback and I was like, nah, I don't want to listen to
I
it.
had to.
can't.
I had to
I didn't
listen
want
to the
to.
Lil Wayne, especially it was a Carter. It's a Carter fool.
Yeah.
It's not just like an. It was.
Are
a
you, are you
Carter.
afraid of like being let down or?
Not well for Lil Wayne, yes, 'cause that's the goal for me. But I think for the Clips album, okay, so for Lil Wayne, yeah, I'm scared of being let down. For the Clips music, I think I would be too invested in it.
Too much
and-
into Lil Wayne.
and it would take like every time I try it,
Yeah.
it takes away from like
Everything else?
everything else that I'm doing, and I would like obsess over just things. So I've like read some lyrics, I've posted a couple things, but I haven't really been able to listen to anything. And then I'm the type of person that wants to listen to it over and over.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it was with
Same.
So Be It, that single, that fucking video too,
Yes.
black and white.
Ooh.
It's fucking beautiful, dog.
So
I see the artwork every
Fire. I
day.
love it.
Because people are talking about it, but I haven't listened yet.
Are you for me, when I listen to music, let's say a new album comes out, I can't listen to it when I'm busy. It has to be like when GNX had to stop everything.
No, anything Kendrick, you stop everything.
I had to
before
stop
you go live.
everything, dog,
That's
and
Kendrick.
like
That's just Kendrick.
bomb play and then just like process it.
That's how I am. And then, but since I'm tweeting for things, so like Thursday, 9:00, if it's a big album that comes out, I have to tweet about like the lyrics, and I see like Complex and everything, but I'm not listening to it always just because I have to do it on my own time. I have to be able to focus, and if I'm working and I'm tweeting it, like it's gonna take away. I'm gonna be so stuck on this bar and so excited that I want to start tweeting for myself,
Yeah.
and that's just gonna take away from my job.
And for you, like this year, well, whose projects?
Yeah, what are you bumping, though?
Who are you looking forward to this year?
Ooh, who am I looking forward to this year?
Because the rap game's in a weird. Like I still feel like we're feeling the aftershocks of the Kendrick battle. Like there's like this
I'm
weird
over
energy.
Kendrick. I don't want any more Kendrick music. I don't want a surprise. I don't want an unreleased. Y'all killed Kendrick for me, and I have a Kendrick Lamar tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't want any more Kendrick. If it is, it's like I want a Kendrick and Bad Bunny out like song, something like something that's
Away
completely
from
out
rap.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of girl rap. I think just because I want to interview more girls lately.
Yeah.
I've been stuck on Sailor's EP. But as far as like rap, who am I excited? I'm not excited for ASAP Rocky,
No, I'm not.
but I hope he like does something with Drake, because you can't just like say something and then just get smacked in the face and then not return.
Yeah.
And you are having another baby before you drop the album. That's weird, but
ASAP Rocky is just everything looks nice, but it doesn't sound like
This
he's
is a-
excited for music no more.
he doesn't. I don't even know. I think like, and then the fans are so excited and so dedicated. It's disgusting. I hate fan
But
bases like that.
Is it because of Rihanna though? Because I feel, my opinion, before Rihanna, the relationship, he wasn't being no more on the bold letters in the festivals. He was already in the smaller
ones?
font. When Rihanna put him on, then he's in the big again.
I
now
feel
he's
like Rihanna
headlining.
helped him get out of
Oh yeah,
that
now,
case.
now he's headlining a whole day. I'm like, bro, how did that happen?
I feel like it helped him get out of that trial.
Yeah.
She was just showing up to
Oh no,
court.
for sure. And you know how Rock Nation does it. Shout to Meg.
That's crazy. I'm scared of Rock Nation.
Rock Nation is a new death row out here movie.
The mafia.
Rock Nation is pretty wild out there, though. Like when we're hearing from, I don't want to mention her name,
Yeah, allegedly.
Perez. When we're hearing about her, I'm like, oh, you do not want to fuck with her. Shout
I
to Rock
want to know
Nation.
who came to who. So I'm curious. Did Jay-Z come to Desiree Perez, or did Desiree Perez come to Jay-Z?
I think she came to Jay-Z. In my opinion, conspiracy theory. I feel like that's like almost like the government put somebody next to like the biggest hip hop person just to make sure that they are kept in the loop.
Because did you hear the story about her daughter?
Yes,
That was crazy.
crazy. So if you guys don't know the story, I guess she doesn't approve of her daughter's relationship. So she had city officials, doctors, and people do stuff that are legal to like fuck up her life and.
She was in like the psych ward.
Bug. They got bugged, right? They got bugged. She was in the psych ward. Like they had a doctor signing things.
Said that she was abused. Said that she was abusing drugs. And then like when they came back, her like drugs, her reports are clean. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they I think accused her of being in a domestic relationship, and then she denies everything. She's like, "No, my mom just doesn't approve." But just to
She's
see the
rich as
power,
hell.
just to see the power that she has, just makes you think about the whole Megan situation
Or the Rihanna situation.
or the Rihanna situation with the ASAP Rocky thing. It's just because remember, evidence was missing on both.
Evidence was missing.
Evidence was missing for us that were
I feel bad for Tory
that were
Lanez.
logged in were missing. So it is weird.
That's one of those situations where I don't speak.
Yeah, probably not.
I
Yeah.
just don't talk about Tory Lanez. I feel like
But shout
as
to
a
Meg.
woman, as like a black
to Meg in
woman,
episode
I'm expected
17.
to have a certain stance that I don't always agree with. But I don't know what's going on there. To answer your question though, this is so random, but I've been obsessed with Justin Bieber lately, and I feel like he's gonna drop a rap album, and I am excited for that.
Are you
It sounds
concerned
so-
about Justin Bieber?
No.
What?
Him sucking on
His
SZA's
random-
hand.
His random posts, his random crazy IG posts.
I love them.
Damn, that's
So
crazy.
that's crazy because like when Amanda Bynes was going down, I was concerned. When Britney Spears was going down, I'm concerned.
Not
Usually when
JB.
Kodak Black, I'm concerned,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not concerned about Justin Bieber. I think that's just like regular white people behavior.
You know what? You're right.
valid, I guess.
That is very valid for because
he
white people they
seems
go
like
through
he's
it.
just like
That sounds
fuck it.
about right, huh?
Yeah, and then he did had a crazy when you put up to the SZA show, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone had a crazy reception. I heard it. Fuck, it was like the
Yeah, the
loudest.
fentanyl lean.
It was loud.
And the way he was sucking on SZA's hands, SZA was trying to like maneuver it like politely. Like whoa,
That was kind of weird.
it was weird. All right,
That's crazy.
anything else we should look forward from you? And hey, we should come. You should come up more often, man. I love.
I'm down.
Hey, I would love if we would do
Tuesdays.
that. We do
Tuesdays?
Tuesdays. I'm gonna bleep this out, but Tuesdays we usually do it, and I would love a woman's voice, especially that loves the culture, because like everybody here loves the culture, and it's hard. Well, for me, it's rare to find just that anywhere from.
No, I'm down. Shout out Fly for inviting me.
Man, as one of the guys that also, man, and also we all have like a very common thing, like we just love the culture, like
Like preserving the culture.
preserving the culture and holding the history, but moving towards the future as well.
There used to be more girls. Now I'm trying to think of like, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't see in the West
Out
Coast
here, yeah.
besides Gina Views, because Gina Views is super dope in hip hop space.
Shout out Gina Views, my
Gina,
homegirl.
Gina Views is one of the
Your
persons
favorite
that
homegirl.
I love watching her because she's so passionate. Even through the whole
Yeah, the
rap
beef,
battle
the
with
rap
She
Joey
loves
battle.
battle
Badass.
rap, but that's her thing.
She was like, "Y'all motherfuckers."
All she wants y'all to do is rap. Like,
Hey, I love Gina Views and what she does, and also how unapologetic she is when it comes to her takes and how her passion is. I'm glad she got out of the whole no jumper. I think that I didn't like her in the no jumper space. I don't know. I love what she's doing now and how she's flourishing in her own space.
Right.
How she wants to do it.
Right.
And you see it, and she's a baddie too. Shout out to Gina
shout out
Views.
my homegirl.
Gina Views.
Yeah, but what can we expect from you for the rest of the year? Are you gonna step into your like building your platform this year?
Yeah, definitely stepping into building my platform. I got a trivia game. So I'm going to have more conversations with people and test people's knowledge on the culture.
Let's bring that up. Let's talk about the trivia game.
So it's called All Falls Down.
Shout out to Kanye West.
Okay.
Yay.
And the way I do it on camera is
Okay, let's
with the
do it.
Jenga set. So I don't have the Jenga set with me here.
Okay.
But it would be 54 blocks, 18 blocks say trivia, 9 blocks say challenge. So you pull a block, and if it says trivia, I test you on the culture. If I pull a block that says trivia, you test me. We can pull from the questions. We don't have to. But
Let's try one. Let's try
I'm
one.
gonna
though.
fail.
Let's definitely try one. Let's try the homie right here.
all right, so this is new.
No,
and-
anybody answer
It's a
it.
mixture of new and old.
Okay, go for it.
So this one says, you're going to get this one. Which Atlanta rapper linked to Young Thug and YSL has faced online rumors for being a snitch?
Gunna.
Damn, bro.
This is newer too. So let's get to old ones. Let me grab some. But this one says, this rapper gained traction. Hold on, here you go. This rapper gained traction with the viral hit "Get In With Me." It's a newer one.
Get in with me. Do you? That's it? No more clues?
Nope.
Damn, I don't know that one.
No.
Got us.
Who was that?
Boss Mandilo.
Oh, Boss Man Dilo.
Texas.
That's somebody that I gotta tap in
I
with.
gotta tap
like,
in more with Texas rap.
We
I ain't gonna
do.
lie. I
We
haven't
do.
tapped
And
in as
Boss
much.
Man Dilo's been getting a lot of love out here
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
For sure. A lot of Texas rap too.
Yeah, shit, they're doing it up over there.
Which rapper was jailed in Sweden, prompting Trump to call for his release?
Rocky.
ASAP Rocky.
Yep.
Wait, so that question was pretty new for Boss Mandilo. Do you adjust these or
Yes. So
you release like sample packs?
I have 3 packs. They're not really there. It's just going to be a mixture of everything. The reason why I did it like that is because I have people who are younger, people who are older. Everyone kind of like likes the culture, and I feel like if you don't get it right, that's an opportunity for you to learn something.
Yeah, that was dope.
That's really dope.
Because it's not really about you losing or winning. It's really about educating yourself. So it's no hard feelings if you didn't know the answer. Just like I didn't go
Yeah.
crazy on you. And I was like, damn, you didn't get that right.
But you know what? It's dope that you have like a mixture of like throwback, a little bit of the new, like mix it up, make it fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to like school people all the time, and then it's hard, and people are like, you know all the answers.
people
I
don't
do
wanna
know all
play.
the
You
answers.
know it all type
It's
shit.
really
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
to. It's really hard to beat me. So we're gonna see what's up.
And what pushed you to do a game like that? Like just your love for the culture like that?
Definitely my love for the culture. I have a planner that I put out every year called the Hip Hop Agenda.
Okay.
So I'm about helping you with your goals, helping you be more organized in your like creative. Because I'm a creative, but I'm very organized in that space. In the middle of that is like a content calendar. It shows you how to do social media. But I have a calendar, a catalog of everything that's kind of important in hip hop history.
Yeah.
For 365 days a week. When I was at the radio station, I used to post hip hop history on social media. And I used to like write it in my own planner. And then I started just putting out the book myself. So I do that every year.
Yeah. It's funny because I manage a social media page and I go to the hip hop history website. And whenever that day I would post, shout out to so and so album came out 23 years ago. Or
I have it. Look, I'll show you right here, so you can see. I have it all on my phone, but I do have it on the book. And so, with that, it was kind of like just helping people with social media, and then being able to give them. Here's pass it out. So you can scroll almost any day on that calendar, and you'll have hip hop history. Sick. So that's inside the planner. But the thing about that is, like, if you're not a planner type person, if you're not someone who writes down things, if you're not a notebook person, then you don't really care about the history. You know what I mean? But how can I get the history, and how can I still make it interesting? So I was like, let's do a game.
Yeah, you know what? You got to give the knowledge with the medicine with the candy. You can't just. I hate people that they try to preach. No, you gotta like do it in a way where the new generation could like enjoy it and at the same time learn.
And then also, I don't think, like you're saying, there's not a lot of girls in the space. I don't want to just have an interview where I'm like sitting down next to you and I'm like, so what are your influences? I'd rather just talk about. It's called All Falls Down because we talk about building.
Yeah.
Talk about what happens when shit hits the fan or when shit falls apart. How do you rebuild? And so talking about that, but still kind of having conversations about the culture, what lyric really hits you, where like it's like a Bible verse, or what's a song that got you through a hard time, things like that.
Yeah.
Where we don't have to talk about, we can talk about your new album, but we don't necessarily have to talk about your influences. Or if we are going to talk about your influences, it can be in a different way, but still make it fun. So trivia game.
No, that's fire. Shout out to you.
That's a great idea.
And make sure you send me the website where we could order that.
Yeah, the planner too, please.
Yes, for sure. I do want to get a copy for
Thank
that. I
y'all
want to like my kids. I want my kids to be very very versed in hip hop culture, though. Like that, it's very important for me because that's how I was. I was a blog era. I was in the blogs and the Dub CNNs, the West Coast Writer, the All Hip Hop.
It used to be important. The Two Dope Boys back in the day.
Two Dope Boys.
Damn,
Yeah,
classic.
on
That
Smash.
was one of the first Twitter accounts I followed. I swear to God, Two Dope Boys, man.
Damn,
There used to
bro.
be like a website called like 123 Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And I used to like download all the new songs every single day.
And some of these bloggers ended up being like, I know Nemo from WCNN he runs Empire, so it's like damn to see a lot of these people like damn. I love that era, the whole blog era.
The blog era.
Yeah.
I love the blog era.
I feel like it's gonna kind of come back to that a little bit.
I want to come back. There's still dope blogs like I still watch Hip Hop DX.
In what form? Like in written blog or like?
I think so.
Oh shit.
Written.
I think so.
Me and my homie always argue. I always tell him that the new blogs are just like Instagram posts. That's the blog now.
True.
That's what it is. He's
So like a Facebook
He'll
post.
be like, oh, I'm like, bro, people don't care about that. They want to see it easy, fast.
By the time
headline.
it gets to your
Just, like,
website,
reel
it's
it
too
up.
late.
It's too late.
Yeah, for sure.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Plus, people want it instantly. They don't want to like search for. Like, if it's their headline, maybe a sentence or two, and that's all they want to know, for the most part. But I do want to appreciate.
Thank you.
Well,
for
hopefully we
having
see
me.
you more. Though I would love for you to pull up more
No, I'm down.
often. And if you don't, you have a seat. Always you'll have a mic if you ever want to pull up. Because we cover most hip hop for the most part. And it's dope to have a different voice, a woman in the space, and somebody that has multicultural, Black, Mexican, Filipino. That's so dope to me.
Thank you.
That's it's what cold media is.
I love that about me.
No, I
fucking
love
dope.
that. I love
That's
that
fucking
because
dope, yeah.
even like to see the how different communities in the last 20 years or 30 years have meshed and created not new but like new types of like even the wave of Blaxicans out here. It's
There's a lot
so
of us.
dope. So dope to see it, like, man, and I love to see like the Yellow Hills, the Tommy guns, and like so many people just, and then how they even look at culture, and it's so dope that they love both sides, and man, dog, I just love people like standing on that, like being proud of who they are, and showing it, and wearing it, and expressing it. To me, it's very important. I hate that
I feel like
whole.
it makes me more well-rounded. I
Yes.
like that about myself.
It makes
And
you
I have this
you
crazy
know,
name, so
give you identity and trying to fucking fit in, just be who you are and celebrate it. And we're all mixed. We're all here to add our touch to hip hop. In my opinion, I'm here to add my own little touch to hip hop, like how we're all here. You know what I mean? Maybe next time we'll have the conversation about the N word and the whole Mexican OT thing. But we can't do that next time, 'cause I know. But I want to appreciate you. Where can we find you? What do you want to shout out?
y'all can follow me on King VASHTI on everything at King VASHTI, VASHTI. That's it, yeah.
Make sure you guys tap in with her, and if you guys want to hire her, make sure you get your increments up. Shout out to Craig Mack. And we out.
Thanks for having me.